we'll throw that up there. It's She Has a Name. Opening shows tomorrow, 1:45, 2 for $10, right?
Yes. At Venue 9, and that's the Manitoba Theater for Young People.
MTYP out of the Forks. Air-conditioned venue as well.
Yes.
Thank goodness.
My name is Carl Kennedy, and I play the dual characters of Jason the Canadian lawyer and the pimp.
Okay. Two dynamic roles, all right.
And my name is Sienna Howell Holden, and I play the dual characters of the Mama Son, and voice number 2.
Very, very powerful stuff. Don't let the name fool you.
Okay, voice number 2.
The anguished voices of girls that came before number 18. So it's very, very, very vital. No spoilers to the play, but.
Wow. Okay, so tell us a little bit about what is She Has a Name. What is this all about? When people go, just brief synopsis. What are we going to see at the play?
Right. All right. Well, what I usually tell people right off is that it's a play about human trafficking. Our particular play is set in Thailand, and what's really great about our story is that it focuses on one girl who's been trafficked from Cambodia to Thailand, and she's working in this brothel called the Pearl. And Jason, our Canadian lawyer, has come over and is trying to build a case against the brothel owners, the pimps, the madams, to try and put them in jail. And so the struggle of the story is trying to get number 18 to trust him enough to testify and risk her life, essentially. Yeah.
And Jason, of course, being in a foreign country and trying to tackle this monster, basically, in the flesh, is he's also risking his life, so the stakes don't get any higher. I love to inform people of that fact, that the given circumstances and raising the stakes, and that's actor terminology, it's as high as it can go.
Yeah.
Now, I know in today's society, like we're seeing this idea of human trafficking, the awareness being built. I mean, you know, the invisible children thing that's going on, but even prior to that, it was really this growing movement. Why do a play? Like, do you think this is the right time to really show this play in the midst of all of that?
Well, I know, and Sienna can probably speak to this a little better than I can. I know, I happen to be from the States, but in Canada, I know there's a large movement and there's a lot of legislation actually going.
Yes,
Did you
absolutely.
Want to speak to that?
Well, yeah. Okay, quick, amazing little story. No, we were in Ottawa, like right towards the end of Parliament, and Joyce Smith, who is MP
right here, Winnipeg.
Yes, exactly. She was trying to push Bill C-10 through. And I think the day that we opened in Ottawa, she was presenting it to the Senate. The Senate, is that is the right word? Okay. And then we found out, I think a couple weeks later, that it had actually passed. Passed into legislation, and so that, I mean, it's amazing. But I think now is the time. It's the weirdest thing, because we think that slavery, you know, it was abolished however many years ago, and the work's being done. And how do you fight something that's already been legally
not allowed?
Not allowed. Yes. How do you fight that? Right.
And it was one thing about human trafficking and prostitution and slavery. We have to realize that slavery it can take many forms. And it can morph, and we have to continue to watch that beast transform, so when the next form appears, we can attack it. Sienna Howell Holden said that we have to be the light that kicks at the dark. I don't know if that's your quote, but I think it's pretty awesome. She stole it. She stole it, but she's really good.
And they probably stole it from someone else too.
Oh, exactly. But it's such a visceral image.
It is, absolutely. So as actors then, why choose to be in a show like this from a personal level?
From a personal level, as an actor, people-wise, you know, there's the message, and we understand that there's these overwhelming statistics. But from an actor point of view, it would be the given circumstances, which actors are familiar with those statements. Given circumstances and raising the stakes, like I spoke previously on. They don't get any higher. You know, it's life or death, and being somewhere where it's always like the rope is always taut. So as the actor is the ultimate exercise, in your craft. You're building your craft every single day in rehearsal, and then when shows start, you know, every moment on stage is an opportunity to save someone's life, to protect your own. So it's yeah, it doesn't, for me, it doesn't get any higher than that.
Sienna, how did you get involved? What's your story with that?
Well, I was in the world premiere back in 2011, and sorry, one thing I want to say is that Andrew Kuman wrote this play because of an incident that happened in Burma back in 2008, and he was so affected by this tragedy. Okay, quickly, 100 people were transported from Burma to Thailand, or they were being transported in a water truck. It ran out of gas. The drivers left, and over 50 women and children in the truck ended up dying because they were stuck in there for days with no food, water, and so he was moved, and he thought, but how can I make a difference in a tragedy that is this big? And he took his pen and he put it to paper and he wrote this play. And so to answer your question, doing this tour, I feel like I can use my voice to do exactly that, to help fight this monster.
Yeah. The actor, what we have, you know, our tools are, you know, of course, our five senses, our physical presence on stage, and like you said, her voice.
Yeah.
You know, your entire being, that's what we have. So it's the ultimate, I think, giving of yourself to such a worthy cause.
Now, this isn't your first show that you've actually performed. This said world premiere back in 2011.
Yeah.
What has some of the response been from people who have come to see the show before?
Well, it's been varied. I think the show, it packs a punch, and so it hits people really, really hard, especially like in the last 15 minutes of the play. So I think people leave probably a little stunned. I think probably a good chunk of our audience haven't necessarily been exposed to the idea of human trafficking in the 21st century. So it's really overwhelming for them. I know in London last week we had a show where the show finished, we went to black, we came back out, and usually people start applauding, but the audience, there was like, I don't even know how many people, but a good chunk of people that they just sat there. They didn't, you know,
stunned silence.
Still, yeah, and it was, I mean, that response was really powerful.
It was almost like they had to be pinched to say, okay, it's over now, you know.
Yeah, to make that transition.
When they see the group of actors come out, you know, I think they had to fully realize that this was a curtain call line. Yeah. They're lining up. Oh, okay, you know, because I really felt like it was just that stunned, like, you know, I think you're proverbially your skin is very sensitive, it's tender to what you've just been through. You know, a ringing in your ears, you know, I think it really gets your physiology going.
Well, that's exciting stuff. I know we're trying to figure out ways in which we can find God at the Fringe, in a place where it's, you know, sometimes it doesn't necessarily always have the moral content or to challenge us to actually make a difference in the world. And so that's kind of where we're looking for, and I think this play is something that's really speaking to a culture that really wants to make a difference and make a change. So thank you guys so much for what's going on. The show, once again, venue number
9
at
the Manitoba Theater for Young People,
right here,
at the Forks.
At the Forks. It's an incredible. It's an air-conditioned venue. It's awesome stuff there. So
beautiful venue.
Yeah, and so you can check out the Forks. This is their handbill, so if you see it around, we'll have all the show details and everything. We'll post that just at the bottom of the blog there, and that way people can see that and check you guys out. Now, did I hear right too that there's going to be like a talkback session at the end of one of the shows?
There is on the 25th.
Okay.
There is going to be talkback. Joy Smith will actually be there.
Right, MP Joy Smith.
And I mean, the things she has to say are just incredible.
The stuff that she knows is incredible, and you know, I think after speaking like this, that's a great opportunity, right? When you're in that stunned silence of like, well, back to the real world, how can we make a difference?
Yes, exactly.
Having Joy there will be a wonderful opportunity. Yes. So once again, thank you guys so much for coming out.
Thank you, sir.
And good luck with the show, and we'll be there. We'll review it as well, and so we'll let you guys know what we thought of the show as well too. So.